Yeah, it's another one with the old camera. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. New camera's acting up on me. I want to keep. I'm trying to. Gotta have it ready for the show. So these can be SD. These can be 480. This is Wrestling Superstars Fall of 1988 issue. Man, look at this. The Road Warriors. What is holding back the world's greatest tag team? It's from PWI, but this is like 4 times a year. It's like spring, summer, fall, winter, or maybe no, it's winter, spring, summer. Excuse me, summer, fall. Superstar Dream Match. Hulk Hogan and Rick Steamboat versus Randy Savage and Ric Flair. They do fantasy book, and that'd be their big thing. Poison made 10-minute Rue wrestling in the 1990s. Now, this one I'm keeping myself. As you can see, it's got a lot of tape repair. I had to do a lot of tape repair to keep this cover from coming off. A good chunk of these are coming from a buddy of mine. I've told the story before, but it's your first time watching. I'll tell it. It takes about a minute. Buddy of mine, his father passed away. Only family his father had was a younger sibling, a sister, and then my buddy, who is my age. We're almost 50. And they went down there, and like the dad owned the house. He lived in the land. He lived on the way. So okay, we're going to sell it. We just need to do everything else. So he found a big ass box of wrestling magazines. As he goes through them, he's like, okay, look, I want to read them because I ain't read them since I was a kid. He goes, every time I get 5 or 6 or 7, I'll ship them up to you. Told him how to ship them cheap, and he just pay me for shipping, man. Pay me for shipping. It's always really asked. And it's working out to be, a fairly good little deal. I've got a good stack of wrestling magazines. Now, the thing is most of these are going to be, earliest I got from them so far is like 85, all the way up to about 90, 91. So let's say he's the same age as me. He kind of fell out when I did, but he's back into it. Cool looking cover. Let's see. Is that light causing that? What is causing? Trying to see what is causing that glare. Let me see if I turn off this big. That usually helps. Well, that helped a lot. So let's get going into this. Get it open. And there's even tape on the inside to hold the cover on. The Von Erich Extravaganza. I want this tape. I'm gonna go look see if a rip of this tape is online. And I mean the front and inside is just subscribe to what PWI. Yeah, PWI. Fine. PWI was $22 for a year back then. So that's what 12 issues. It's not horrible. Not horrible. The Von Erich front row ringside is up close and personal look at the Von Erich legend, culled from an extensive video library of world-class championship wrestling, featuring at-home interviews with Kevin, Kerry, Mike, and Fritz. This is going to be a valuable addition to your videotape collection, starting VHS format only in the special offer. Included in the sensational 7-minute tapes are the entire June 1st, 1982 Fritz Von Erich no disqualification retirement match against King Kong Bundy. The complete March 4th, 1983 Kevin Von Erich Terry Gordy match in which Kevin won the World Class America belt. Highlights of Dave Von Erich battling Jim Garvin, Kamala, and Harley Race. The entire May 6, 1984 bout in which Kerry Von Erich captured the NWA World title from Ric Flair at Texas Stadium in front of 45 and 518,000 fans. Highlights of Mike Von Erich November 24th, 1983 debut match against Grindel Sandbar in a battle against Sean Tatum. Rare footage of Chris Von Erich, Fritz versus Joe Blanchard, David Spankin' Sunshine, 6-man action featuring Mike, Lance, and Kevin, and David, Keith, and Kerry. Mike's hospitalization for Dr. Shock Syndrome. And they got the family on, which I kind of want. I want both, but man, the family album's only $15, or for $44 you can get both, which is the Superstar family. You might expect to spend upwards of $59.99 or $69.99 for a Von Erich videotape of this quality, or $20 or more for the family scrapbook. This special magazine offering, you get the Von Erich front row ringside for the low price of $29.95 plus $3 postage handling. Superstar fan page. Save money and receive both the book and the tape at a market price of only $39.95, so $45. Book and tape must have for any Von Erich fan. Not a huge Von Erich fan though. I know watch World Class. World Class is one where I really cheered the heels. Let's see, it was World Class in Wrestling 89, but I don't know if Wrestling 89 came out the same months as, Wrestling Superstars, is that or not? That was the other one that came out 4 times a year, because you got 8 issues total for, what was it, $16? $15? Bam Bam getting dropped. Brett, what was that? Larry Zbyszko? That's Steve Kern. Wow, I would not recognize that. This about the Russians coming over and working in Japan and having like some really, it was supposed to be shoot matches. I don't know if that's true or not. Love these quotes. This is this Rick Steiner one. Okay, my turn now, boy. I sure am lucky to have Eddie Gilbert as a partner, and I see when me and Eddie won these U.S. tab belts, the meant I wasn't a dummy. I wasn't a dummy, but now I'm even more not a dummy. Something like that. Well, Eddie and Missy tell me there are going to be a lot more surprises coming up. I love surprise. I have a surprise birthday party once, but Spike ate the candles off the cake. Jerry Lawler. The AWA may have been classist enough to strip me of their cheap tawdry belt. The real fans know I'm still the champ. Give me one match against Zbyszko, just one, I'll take that title right back. As it stands now, I don't even consider it a legitimate world championship. On the other hand, a lot of folks in world class hate my guts, but they respect me as their champions. That's the way it should be. Take note, AWA. Oh, got to read Brickhouse, man. And people that don't know why if you notice I've mentioned Brickhouse a lot, Brickhouse Brown ended up living the end of his life, like the last probably 10, 15 years of his life, maybe more, in the Jackson, Mississippi area in Mississippi. So you went to independent shows, you'd run into Brickhouse fairly often. Got to meet the man a couple times, got to know me. Actually, it's one of those guys where it's like, okay, I call him Mr. Brown at Brickhouse. Like, no, you call me. He told me his real name was. I would call him Mr. That. And he's one of those that, his story of his death, brain cancer and all this shit. And he, kicked out, 3 different times at the 2. Like, Def had him pinned, and Brickhouse boom, kick out at 2. Oh, Def had him in that, that submission home. Brickhouse broke it, right before that 3rd tap, He fought like a motherfucker. So here we go. Yeah, that's all everybody ever said. Isn't Brickhouse such a nice guy? And Brickhouse would never turn back on her friends' words. That's all they were. Yeah, and I don't have any titles either. But I wised up. I got me a manager, General Scandal Rapar, one of the smartest men around. Then I got me a great partner, Iceman Parsons. Three of us are not to be messed with at all. Don't get in our way. The Superplex, they show you how to do holds. I had a magazine, all full of holds. It was written by Mike Quackenbush. It was from the... Okay, this is their fantasy book, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but they had the number 1 and number 2 faces from each Fed team up against number 1 and number 2 faces from the other Fed. And, these were not kind of crossing lines, but these were interesting. As a kid, they were kind of interesting to read. I don't give a fuck about them now. I really don't. They're just... To me, it's like, how many pages of this magazine wasted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5, probably more than that. A Tom Zink interview. Zink's one of those guys. I loved his website. Never gave a shit about his wrestling. And I don't know if I ever saw Zink live. What is holding back the world's greatest tag team? Well, they're not pictured on this page because it's not the Road Warriors. I don't know. The Road Warriors are a team I just never got that much into. They're good. And I like what they did for wrestling, but there's other teams that era I think were better. Hell, there's Steve Williams right there. Look, sorry, off page. Steve Williams, Mike Rotunda, the Varsity. The Varsity Club. We kind of got a throwback to that now in our era. We got a young tag team. It's 3 brothers, if I remember right. Hosey's their last name. Because we're calling them Hosey Wussets. Joking about it at the show. They are the Varsity. They come out wearing varsity jackets and... Noah's the one I've seen the most. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. He's a big old dude. I haven't stood next to him yet to see how tall he is. I'm guessing he's at least 6 foot. But this big, wide kid, kind of thick, a lot of mass on, a lot of muscle, a lot of mass. He'll play football and shit. Moves real quick and always wears some kind of boxer style shorts. Actual boxing trunks, not basketball shorts. Custom made. Seen Adam Hosey twice down there. What's the other Hosey? But I like that they brought that back. The Varsity Club. Poised to dominate the 10 men who will rule wrestling in the 1990s. Okay, let's see. Hulk Hogan, yeah, he definitely did with his reinvention. Sting, yes, all the way through the end. Ultimate, no, he fizzled out. Was his comeback in WCW before 2000? Because if not, after he fizzled out the WWF run, he came out that one time, that was it. And you see, that's the thing, they give you, that's why they try to, I'd rather have a big poster of Warrior than all these. I love this one of him, and oh my God. Well, wrestling world class is the Dingo Warrior, the muscular New Yorker, battled legendary brawler Bruiser Brody. There's Warrior mustache putting a reverse chin lock on Bruiser Brody. And people talking about Luger, even though I don't like Luger, he dominated in the 90s. Not as much as you would expected, but, so they're not going to mention, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall in here because nobody knew they were going to do anything. Hell, was Nash even wrestling at this time? Hall probably was. Dustin did not, but should have. Such a great wrestler. I mean, he's still wrestling now. He's semi-retired, just like Muta. Muta's semi-retired, but he did not dominate in the States like he should have. Sid Vicious, dominate's not the right word, but he did good in the 90s. I mean, he's had world title. The Samoan SWAT team. Excuse me. Fatu, that's Rikishi. So he actually did the best out of the 2, but Larry Cameron died before he really did much. Rick Steiner, he had a good, steady career. Never world champion. Always tag or secondary belt guy. So yeah, not dominant. Jerry Lawler, split personality, CWA Savior, Texas Terror. I remember this. When Jerry Lawler wrestles in the CWA, Memphis, he's the most popular man in the Federation. At the same time, world-class fans would love to see him banned from Texas for life. What is it that makes Lawler strive to please the fans in one area while trying to cripple the fans' favorites in the other? I remember this. I don't know if it was in this or another one. Another magazine was similar. I love this fan here with the buttons, and look at that. Kerry is our champion, not you, Lawler. King rules. Love me some Jerry Lawler. Kurt Hennig versus Bret Hart. The match the WWF couldn't prevent. Kurt Hennig and Bret Hart are superb scientific wrestlers, mat technicians that any federation would be proud to have on display, except the WWF. The WWF tried to prevent this feud. Fortunately for the fans, they couldn't. Zeus! Hey, Brown Pillman with his poodle perm. Another 2 pages on this. That's what, 8 pages on that damn Dream 9? 10? Jesus. And we got our rankings. You want to go through? Yeah, you know what? Let's go through. I'm going to go world class right now. We got Jerry Lawler as our champion. Eric Embry, number 1. Matt Moore, number 2. Kerry Viner at 3. Brickhouse at 4. He's from Winter Haven, Florida. Didn't know that. 5 is Jeff Jarrett. Jimmy Jack Funk. Fuck you, Jimmy Jack Funk at 6. The Zodiac. Could that be Captain Shack, maybe? I don't know. 7. Iceman King Parsons at 8. Gentleman Chris Adams at 9. And Killer Tim Brooks at 10. Okay. Stampede! Now, this is 89. Dale Roy, you watching, sir. You were watching Stampede. Dave Boy Smith, number 1. Cool. Ben Watt, 2. Dave Boy Smith's champ, which was the North American title back then. Ben Watt's number 1. And Larry Cameron, Johnny Smith, Bruce Hart, Steve Blackman. Holy shit, I forget he wrestled up there for a while. Muckin Singh, Kerry Brown. Vulcan Singh, Ricky Rice, and Angel Adept. Okay, CWA, this is Memphis. At the time, yeah, I would have been definitely watching WWF. World Class, I don't think I was getting any more on TV, but I was getting Memphis, I was getting CWF, and I was getting probably PWF. Let's see, Memphis, Jeff Jarrett's the champion, the Jerry Lawler, Dutch Mantel, Humongous, which is Lord Humongous, was probably Sid at that time. No, it wouldn't be Sid, to be, I don't know, this would be like Lord Humongous 3. Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, Master of Pain, which is Undertaker, if I remember right. Perry Jackson, Tony Anthony, Phil Hickerson, and Brian Lee. And then our little smaller feds, these are always interesting. ACW, which I don't know what that is, but their champion is Doug Summers. You got Bobby Fulton, Nikita Koloff, Nelson Royal, Sam Houston, Don Cornoodle, Colt Still, Ivan Koloff. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. Shit, I don't have my mic on. Hold on, let me get my mic on. I was just talking to my aunt I haven't talked to in forever, and had a little pleasant conversation. Found out she's a wrestling fan, so I told her to go to Wildcat. But, let me go through everything here. Alright, this is their rankings. Where was I on Stampede? I'm done. That was a good over picture and then the back cover. Like I said, this one's staying in the collection. I can't, because these, I have to ask, at least $10 on these. And this one being so taped up and all that, I'd feel bad asking somebody, unless somebody out there sees it, it's like, ooh, I've always wanted that issue I had as a kid. And tell you this way, if I'm shipping it, if you're in the States, you PayPal me $10, I'll ship it to you for $10 shipped. If you're outside the state, you got to figure out how much shipping is. You got to pay $10 plus the shipping. Because it is not cheap. I've looked into it, and it's like, just going to Canada is expensive, and it makes no sense. But I'm out, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Boom. Laters.